What's up, guys, and welcome to another video, and let's get ready to wake up and react to another episode of Mob Psycho 100, Season 2, Episode 4. So last time, what happened? The ghost. So we saw last time that Mob was struggling with, the fact that he empathizes with ghost spirits, whatever word you want to use, a lot more than other people do. Like, maybe possibly even other espers. So like last time he was in this dilemma, like satisfy the clients and exorcise these spirits even though they're innocent and haven't done anything wrong, or spare the spirits and upset the clients. Like, he didn't want to harm anyone, but he also didn't want to upset his clients. So it's kind of like he has like this conundrum now where he's like, well, so no one cares if I exercise spirits. Like, no one would yell at me for that. So would anyone care if I exercise a human, which I guess would be like kill them? And I get it. It's kind of like, I understand his thought process on that. I mean, it makes sense that he would think that way, right? But that's why I liked what Reagan said last time, where he's kind of like, wow, Mob has a lot more, a bigger burden on his shoulders than I thought that he did, or something like that. I can't remember how he exactly phrased it, but more weight than he thought he did, which he's right, and I kind of feel bad for him because he's just like, he's an empath, right? Like, they're part of his daily life, so he sees them as like equals. They're equal to humans. Not one is not more important, or neither one deserves more respect or compassion, empathy than the other. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like now he's got to try to, I guess, sort of figure out how to navigate that. I guess just the way that society views spirits, and like, what am I trying to say? Like, Mob is gonna have to try to figure out how to, I guess, deal with that discrimination, because he's not going to be able to change it as much as he tries. You can't, like I said last time, it's spirit discrimination. That's really what it was. So I don't know, I'm kind of excited to see how this season goes, because I want to see how he deals with that, because if he chooses to side with the spirits, he's going to get a lot of shit for it, clearly, obviously. Not that it's right, I'm not saying it's right, but so I want to see how he deals with that moving forward. Like, will you choose to stand up for them even though you're definitely gonna get some shit for that, or do you just conform and kind of try to ignore that guilt that you're probably gonna feel afterwards? I don't know. I don't foresee Mob doing that. Like, he's got a very strong, he sticks to his moral code, right? I don't foresee him like compromising his values, morals, whatever, right? Ethics. So I just, yeah, I want to see, though. I want to see for myself moving forward how he's gonna deal with all of this. But yeah, anyway, if anyone's curious, I don't know if you'll be able to notice, but like, I am recording this intro like way before I end up recording the reaction, because I wanted to have time to record this before. I was like, oh fuck it, I have all the time in the world, I'll record it later. Like, let me just spend some time with my family, right? It was still early in the day, and then I get a call. My uncle he's had a hernia, but it's been really bad because he's been bending down a lot, like watching my grandma. She's had a lot of accidents today, 5 already, and he can't do it anymore. Like, he feels like it's about to burst. Not that I even know much about it, but whatever. I'm taking him like at his word. He's in a lot of pain, so my sister and I have to go take over until my mom gets off work, and then she'll come relieve me. Then I can come home and record. So I'm gonna probably not gonna be able to have this up on Patreon. People on YouTube can ignore this, but on Patreon, this probably isn't up now until what? It's probably like around 10, 11, 12 maybe. It just depends on how late she got to my uncle's house. So I'm saying got because I know it's gonna be like, you're seeing this after, you know. Anyway, but yeah, so yeah. Anyway, let's jump into the reaction, guys. He doesn't need his powers for me to love him. So, I mean, I don't care if he never gets his powers back. I don't even care about that. But I just want to know, like, how do you just wake up? Like, you don't even know how you got home, bro. So, I don't believe he's actually at home right now. I feel like it's all in his head. I think his powers are still there with him, I'll explain two routes, because there are two possible. It is possible that he did just like wake up and he doesn't remember how he got home because he altered his memories, like he said. But at the same time, you could have altered his memories while he's still in that girl's body. You know what I mean? So, option A, he's still in the girl's mind, and this is all an illusion. Simulation, I guess, if you will. Where he's living life. It's like a dream. He's living life without his powers. Yes, and maybe we'll, I don't know, explore that next episode. But also, it could be that, you know, he really did manipulate his memories, and like, so Mob went home. When he woke up, it's like, oh yeah, okay, woo, another day, and he's living his life without powers. But then, like, I'll just have to see, like, because it depends on how the other people in his life interact with him. Because if they're like, something's off with you, Mob, like, are you okay? Like, why haven't you been using your powers? He'll be like, what powers? Then I'll know it's the real world. Because he hasn't affected anyone else's memories, so we'll just have to see. Because if everyone he interacts with acts like it's normal for him to not have powers, and like they have no memories of like certain events or something, you know what I mean? Then I'll know, okay, so this is all still in his head. But anyway, what else? So his thing about, do you think emotions tied to negative feelings versus positive feelings are stronger? And he thinks negative, which I think it's true, for me at least. My negative emotions definitely, I feel like, influence my mood or affect me physically, mentally, more than my positive emotions do. Like, happiness for me doesn't last as long as like my sadness or like my frustration, my depression, my anxiety. Those are, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I deal with those types of emotions maybe like 75% of the time. And I'm happy like 25% of the time. It's like when I'm distracted. I feel like I'm being too generous with the 75. Maybe like 60% of the time I'm dealing with those negative emotions. Because I do distract myself a lot. Like, if I didn't watch TV or read books or react, I would definitely be feeling those like 95% of the time. Anyway, so I'm a depressed, sad little girl when I don't react. When I'm distracted, I'm instantly happy. Anyway, what was I gonna say? So, but yeah, I do think, I don't know, for me personally, and I feel like everyone's experience is different, but I do feel like for me the negative stuff definitely affects me more. And I also think that I let them control me more, I guess. Like, you gotta feed into those things to let them affect you so much. Like, if I learned to let that shit go, which is something I said to my therapist, counselor, whatever she is, because there is a difference, by the way, if you guys don't know that. I think she's a counselor, though, that, like, I gotta learn to just not give a fuck what people think, because I care way too much, and, like, I seek constant validation through others, cannot make a decision without asking everyone I know first, anyway. So, yeah, I agree with him, bottom line. Long story short, I agree with him. But I honestly feel like it differs. It's a subjective, is it subjective? No, that's not the right word. It depends on the person, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, not everyone's going to be as affected by a mental illness like I am, or illnesses, since I have like 3, but disorders, whatever. But yeah, so I think, I don't know where I'm going with that. I think I just said it already. I agree with him. I felt bad for him too. Like, he had to. I don't want to say he had. Well, yeah, you don't have to do anything. It's a choice always. But he felt that he needed to be an assassin to take care of his mother because he needed to make money, and it's just unfortunate that he was in that situation. But he wanted to get revenge on people who feel they're untouchable. I have a feeling he must mean his bosses or clients maybe. I don't know if he was like part of the same organization and they would send him out on hits, or if it was like he took random people, you know, like, or if he was in charge. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Or also maybe he's mad at like doctors or the people in the government, like, because maybe he felt that they took advantage of him, you know. I could see that. Or didn't really care about his struggles. That's another thing. What else? I don't know. What else happened in this episode? This is the thing though, like, I feel that Mob could defeat him, but then again, I don't know. Like, he did absorb a lot of other evil spirits while he was an Esper when he was alive, but now he's a spirit, so it's like, are all of those spirits a part of him still? Like, could you like separate them, or is it they're just one? They are one now. That's what I'm confused about. And like, what's the difference between him possessing her and them merging? You know what I mean? What else? What else about the episode? I gotta click through it. Please leave. See, the fact that he said please leave to him kind of makes me feel like maybe he was worried that, like, he was, I don't know, scared that he might have exploded, reached 100%. Because I feel like when Mob says please, or he never asks for things for his own benefit. He's always doing things for other people. You know what I mean? So for him, in this situation, like, to ask someone to stop for his own benefit, his own, I don't know, personal gain, I just don't see that. Like, that, to me, when he says that, comes across as like, please stop because I don't want to hurt you type of thing. That's what I took from that. So I'm not too worried about him. Yeah, like, if you're living a nice cushy life, what did he say? People, I want to make sure I interpreted that right. People whose lives are filled with happiness and people who live in eternal suffering. Which do you think harbor strong emotions more easily? Yeah, people who live a tough life. So everything I said before, I definitely think still take that into consideration. It applies. I clearly didn't read this right, but because it was going so fast and I'm like watching him stomp on his face, so I'm crying and shit. Anyway, which do you think harbor strong emotions more easily? Probably the people who are suffering. You know what I mean? Because they're in a constant state of struggle. So I just, since their mind's in constant turmoil, I just feel like they are going to be more affected by things than people who are living in like nice, cushy lives. Like, I feel like those people are kind of like easy breezy. They can just kind of let things go more easily just because they never. Then again, it's like if you never struggle and then you finally come across something that makes you struggle, you wouldn't know how to handle it. So I'm back and forth on that. Harbor strong emotions. Any emotion can be strong though. So I honestly don't know. I feel like I don't know how to answer that question. People who live a good life or a hard life harbor strong emotions more easily. I honestly think it depends on the person and their, can I say genetics? Because that's another thing. It's like, I think we all have, clearly you all have the capacity to feel, but because that's more of like a nature thing. It's, but I feel like, I don't know, like, what am I trying to say? Like, the way that okay, you know how some people are born with disorders, or I'm not sure, I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know if personality disorders develop like from a traumatic experience or if you're born with it. I'm not well versed in all of that, obviously. But I feel like that's something to take into consideration as well. Like, let's just say you're born rich, blah, 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 but you're born with, like, schizophrenia or something, like a disorder that's genetic. Like, obviously, even if you have a cushy life, you can still feel. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I really just kind of. You don't even have to have, like, a disorder to feel things strongly. I don't know. I don't think he's. I don't think there's an either or type of thing in the answer to that question. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, that's so hard to answer. I can't. I honestly just feel like some people are born feeling more intensely than other people. Like me, being an empath, like I feel a lot. Like when I feel a lot. I feel other people's emotions as well, so that kind of that's why I need a lot of, like, alone time, because it's a lot. Trying to like constantly being so considerate of, and this is not me tooting my own horn, because it's true. It's like I'm always so scared to hurt another person's feelings, so it's kind of like I I think a lot about what I say before I say it, because I'm I don't ever want to hurt someone's feelings because I know how it feels, and like, so it's like, and then when I see someone hurt, it's like, even when I'm mad, if I see them crying, like, I will start crying, even though they fucked me over, or treated me, or did me dirty in some way. My boss used to say, "Oh, you did him dirty," right? Like, I fighting with my sister, like, she fucked, she did some fuck shit to me, right? But I couldn't. I had to look away from her when we were fighting because she was crying and I was starting to tear up. Like, I was feeling what she was feeling. It's hard to, anyway. So I think it, and I haven't lived like a super, like, I don't live like in an alley in a cardboard box. Like, I don't struggle much, like, monetarily, like my parents provide for me, for the most part, right? Like, yeah, I pay my few bills, but I don't live on my own, right? So I do struggle emotionally though, like, because I said I have anxiety, depression, OCD. So I just really do think it matters. It depends on the person. It doesn't, circumstances, sure. I think those affect what emotions you feel, but I don't think they're the only factor that is like the deciding factor in how much you feel those things. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I honestly feel like it's a culmination of things. I think it's environment. I think it could be it's nature and nurture. I think it also has to do with just how you're built as, like, you were born. Like, I think I was just born this way, being an empath. I don't think it was like I was created or I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it was like an effect of like my environment. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, I think I was just born feeling things more intensely than other people. I don't know. Hopefully that answers the question. I kind of just went on forever, never, never, but I'm thinking like these are my, like, fresh, right out of the reaction thoughts. So it takes me a minute to get there. So it's a few minutes, actually, more than a few minutes. I knew that bitch was playing them from the beginning though. I'm like, eh. I just choked on my own spit. I'm like, dude, you're overdoing it. You're being way too theatrical right now, which I think was on purpose. Like, we're supposed to know, but I'm just saying. This too. I like how the dad took her to psychiatrists, or what did he say? Therapists, counselors. He tried to get her the help, from medical professionals, instead of, you know, immediately assuming that she's possessed, right? So the fact that you took those steps to get your daughter help, and he didn't just go immediately, I'm throwing her in an asylum. Like, no. He tried to, like, have her talk it out with a trained professional. I love that. I don't like people who say that, therapy is ineffective or it doesn't help, blah blah blah. It does. I mean, you have to do the work, yeah, 100%, but it does help to have someone to talk to who one is an objective third party, right? Like they're not picking sides, like that's their job. They have to stay objective, right? They got to tell you like it is, but also it's like they don't they kind of like they let you get there on your own as well. I kind of like that cuz I think like it means more when you can get there on your own. Again, you have to do the work. They can give you the tools, but you've got to do the work. And it's like, it's nice to vent to somebody, like someone you know is listening. I mean, yes, you're paying them to listen, but like, it's hard. It's hard to find someone who actually listens and like genuinely wants to. Like, they went to school for this. They clearly like they want to help you, right? So, I don't know. Anyway, that's just how I feel about it. But yeah. So I don't have anything else to say about the episode, so I'm gonna end it here so I can get this up for you guys on YouTube and Patreon. Yeah, so okay, let me sit normally now. Hang on. And this giving me OCD. Okay. Sorry, I was just remembering something my counselor said. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified every time I upload a video. And if you guys want full reactions, you can catch that on my Patreon. Other than that, I'm going to get out of here, guys, and I'll catch you in the next reaction.